I'm going to tell you a financial advisor success story, but I don't want you to miss the message here. It's a story about transformation. Now, I know financial advisors, myself included, really enjoy learning new things and gathering information, watching videos like this, and learning in general. But I'm gonna share a story that I was really impressed by today. We had a Zoom call earlier today with a financial advisor that I've been working with. So as you may have gathered, I'm a financial advisor. I've been serving affluent ideal clients and their families for decades. And about 10 years ago, I started a community of high-end financial advisors called themarkofmastery.com. In our community, this free community that I created, I worked with an advisor named Tom. Now, Tom was with a big firm and he was debating whether or not to leave his huge national financial advisory company that he was with. He was nervous about leaving all the resources, the comfort, the brand name of the big firm to go run off and own his own RIA. But I helped him do that. I've set up several RIAs myself. I ran an RIA. So I pointed him in the direction of the firm that set my RIA up. He told me it's kind of stepping off of a cruise ship into a small sailboat. But in just 6 months and $6,000 later, voila, his RIA is all set up and running. He's got an institutional relationship with the custodian. He's all set. He could not believe that it had been that straightforward. He had wished he had done it sooner. So there are several little messages in this video that I'm wanting to convey to many of you. One is a story of transformation, not just an advisor learning new little incremental things or just listening to cool ideas. No, he was not looking for information. He joined our community. He was looking for transformation. The other message is how simple he describes the setup of his own independent RIA and how affordable it was. So let me get back to the story. Tom's old firm allowed him to create financial plans. These financial plans, he was charging clients what they allowed, which was around $3,500 for a financial plan. So in the community, he approached me because I'm one of the few advisors who are known for something that I created called truly comprehensive financial services. Also, it's hard to find any advisors who implement it at a large scale. It's hard to find someone to actually work with other financial advisors, but I created this system and a method for consistently exceeding ideal clients' expectations. I love mentoring. So Tom found me through my content. And if you haven't checked out my blog or my videos, there's a couple hundred of them. So he found me some way. I cannot exactly recall, but he asked about my financial plans. Mark, what do you do for a financial plan? I explained, I don't do those. I don't do financial plans. What I create and the protocol that I created and I encourage other financial advisors to use, it's not just a plan. What I developed is, as I say, a protocol for delivering a comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy. So how did I sit down and create this masterful protocol? I did it the easy way. The format was actually designed by ideal clients themselves. All I did, and it was tedious, but I invested 2 years and I just sat down with lots and lots of multimillionaires and I just asked them, what is it that you want from your relationship with a high-end financial advisor? And what are you willing to pay the most for? What services? We covered everything from strategy to reports and the formats of reports. It turns out that what in our industry we actually deliver to clients is disconnected from what they actually want. So this strategy covers every detail and every contingency in an affluent client's financial life with objectives, strategies, and tactics across all 5 areas of personal finance, which I've talked a lot about in other videos. But think of it this way, it's the difference between a quick floor plan sketch and a full set of blueprints with the engineering diagrams. That's the first element of my system, my protocol for ideal clients. Now, the second part of my system is the 3-meeting process. The protocol has the advisor meeting with every ideal client at least once every 4 months. This keeps their plan current at all times. It's designed to spot major changes, make course corrections more or less in real time, to make these corrections before little small drifts in the plan become big problems. So this protocol ensures that clients are always on track. They never are financially surprised, and they're making better decisions in all areas of their financial life, not just investments. So when I explained this to Tom, you know what his reaction was? I described all of this and he goes, "Sounds like a lot of work." And I said, yes, but less than 1% of advisors operate at this level. What I discovered 25 years ago when I developed this, it's a market opportunity. Anytime you can give a level of service that's more well-connected with the clients that you're serving, and you're doing it in a way that less than 1% of your competition, if you want to think of it that way, are willing or able to provide, it's an opportunity to be the only game in town. And it makes client acquisition not effortless, but a lot easier. Not to mention serving at a level that no other advisor in your community is offering. That's why the fee for a comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy is $20,000, not $3,500. At that point, the light bulb started going off for him. And then the client fee is $45,000 a year to provide progress updates, make the course corrections that are required across all 5 plans. So with a comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy, it's not just one strategy, it's 5 strategies: financial planning, investment management, estate planning, tax planning, risk and safety planning. All of that remains on track. Tom was stunned. He was used to $3,500 plans and 1% of assets under management. He'd never heard of anything like this. To be able to charge assets under management and then a substantial fee to create the strategy and keep it on track. But he was all in. He told me directly, he goes, "I'm all in, Mark." And he agreed to learn this. And it takes about 90 days. But the increased client compensation is, as I mentioned, it's significant. So I'll ask you, how many ideal clients who are paying you $45,000 per family per year would you need to achieve your goals? So Tom did the math and he followed the transition steps very carefully. His old firm had a process of how he was allowed to interact with former clients, but it worked steadily. He was moving all of his best clients from his old firm to his new RIA. One reason that he left was the suffocating compliance environment at this particular firm. At his own RIA, he was his own compliance department. Now, I recommended that he do what I've always done, hire the firm that sets up your RIA to be your compliance consultant and do everything precisely as you're supposed to, obviously, because you have a lot at stake here. You need to be in compliance. But what I'm talking about is you don't have people nipping at your heels trying to tell you that you cannot serve clients at this higher level. And the idea of charging $20,000 for a comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy, but their words were almost verbatim. I don't care what you call it. You can't charge $20,000. They just could not envision that a financial strategy would be worth that amount. But they don't realize what goes into it. But now that he has his own RIA and he's calling the shots, including compliance, he can finally deliver this high level of service that affluent clients actually want and provide it without all these constant roadblocks. So he's in the middle of this story right now. The accounts have all transferred over. Now he's sitting down with every client explaining, here's the old way that we did it at the other firm. I was prevented from offering this higher level of service, but let me tell you why I think you need this, why I moved away so that for clients like you, I could deliver this much higher level of service. He sat down, he learned this method, he mastered creating this comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy using the protocol that I've created. I call this document, this master strategy, the crown jewel of our protocol. It's the basis and the foundation from which you can then knock their socks off. If you have a strategy that has anticipated every contingency and you have a solid process in place for a cadence of regular meetings to keep everything on track more or less in real time, well, when things settled down, he started getting out of the office and rubbing elbows with potential clients again, non-clients that now that he's able to deliver at this level, he knows the missing piece. It's that no potential client is likely to have this level of planning. So as he's sitting down with potential clients, he'd go through all their documents as he normally would, looking at their investment statements, their bank statements, their insurance policies, their tax returns. He'd look everything over, and then he would say, where's your comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy? The single document that would glue all this together the best is missing. Where is it? As he knew in advance, statistically, no financial advisor creates a thing like this, so none of them had anything close. There you go. Now he's got his new RIA. He's moved all of his clients over. He's going out and now acquiring new clients. And this comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy occurred to him. That opened the door to explain the value of having a strategy like this and how it can guarantee that you'll always be on track to your goals, no financial surprises. He can make pledges that he could literally not make before. And he's not on just a 60% payout. He's on a 100% payout, except for, of course, his monthly office expenses. But as he was meeting with potential clients, non-clients, going through all of this and having a conversation about this missing piece of their puzzle that he was happy to plug the hole, some of these potential clients, not surprisingly, balked at $20,000. And Tom admitted to me the first time he said it to a client, because they love the idea, and then at some point they say, what does it cost? He had to pause a second, and then he went ahead and said $20,000. He just answered it in a very simple way. Some of them balked, but Tom skillfully explained that, look, not every family needs or even wants this high level of planning, but if that's what you're looking for, and for those families who do want this and are looking for this extraordinarily high level of detailed planning, Tom explained, I'm the only advisor in town who's delivering anything like this. And like I said, he guarantees the outcomes. If both spouses commit and agree to coming to the 3-meeting process, meaning I need both of you here at least once every 4 months so that we can measure progress and make course corrections, because both spouses have a stake in the future plans. He pledges that if they will both attend, he will pledge that they will always be on track to their goals, there will never be any financial surprises, and they will make better financial decisions across the board. So he enters into this, and this is part of our protocol. Our recommendation is to offer up accountability. Yeah, accountability is something that's really important in a relationship. And many, if not most, financial advisors don't think about this, don't do anything like this because people in general don't like to be held accountable. But Tom, he, at our recommendation, he promised that he'd be so proactive that when they arrived at every meeting, that he would already know before they arrive whether or not they're on track or off track. So he would know if they had drifted off track before they arrived. So his pledge is that when things are off track, he'll know it because he's paying attention, and he'll have already prepared all the action items and recommendations that are required to get the plan back on track, or else he'll waive his fee for that quarter. Wow. I've been delivering this service in precisely this way for well over a quarter of a century, but it never ceases to amaze me how when an advisor like Tom starts delivering a level of service that is perfectly aligned with what clients want, and then you enter into the equation, you're promising you'll always be on track to your goals, no surprises, so forth, and you're attaching consequences to not achieving those outcomes. It's unheard of in our industry. All I'm saying is you start with the crown jewel, the comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy. At that point, you can knock their socks off because you're delivering a plan that is worthy of $20,000 just for the strategy. And in my case, I charge $45,000 per client per year to keep the plan updated. But some clients just want a plan. But back to accountability. Tom agreed to be responsible for making sure that all the action items and the to-dos that are on the client's plan that he created, so all the tactics required to implement the strategy and keep it on track, this is a lot of work for the client. But in our protocol, if a client is willing to continue working with you after you've created the strategy and they agree to meet every 4 months, then we recommend that the advisor pledge to actually take responsibility for the action items and all the to-dos that are on the client's list to actually get them checked off as done. He made himself accountable for ensuring that the strategy was always on track and moving forward, and he would be the one to be responsible for making sure that everything that's supposed to get done actually gets done. All of this is standard for the method that I created. I call it Truly Comprehensive Financial Services. I trademarked it, but I created it for our industry. I am paying it forward to the next generation of financial advisors because there is a disconnect between what advisors are delivering to their clients, and this method is a tight, step-by-step system for consistently exceeding ideal clients' expectations. And let me tell you, the more affluent and the more successful the client, these affluent ideal clients are often very fussy, very detail-oriented people, which is why they are so impressed by a comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy that is far more detailed and thorough than anything they've ever seen. It's so thorough that nothing falls through the cracks, and you're comfortable in pledging to clients that you'll ensure that they'll always be on track to their objectives. So back to the story with Tom. In 90 days, Tom transformed his practice. He went from charging $3,500 for a financial plan plus 1% of assets under management. Of course, he was on a deep haircut with his bigger firm. He's transformed into a model that is on pace to triple his revenue this year. So $45,000 per client per year for truly comprehensive financial services, plus 1% of assets under management. More importantly, he became the only financial advisor in his market that is delivering at this level what affluent clients actually want. So for ideal clients in his market who are seeking high-end financial services, he's the only game in town. That's a critical element in client acquisition. To be able to say, I'm the only financial advisor that's available to you here that's able or willing to deliver this high level of service. So the main message for this video is simply that financial advisors love learning, they love new methods, they love watching videos like this, they love training, myself included. But many financial advisors are in perpetual learning mode. But Tom was looking for something different. I was looking for something different when I came up with this. He wasn't looking for information, he was looking for transformation. The ability to deliver truly comprehensive financial services is for financial advisors looking for a transformation. It takes 90 days, it's tedious, but the payoff is high. And after you have it in place, you've got a well-oiled machine that is set up for you to onboard ideal clients at scale. If you're wondering if your financial plans or whatever you call them match what clients expect, maybe it's time to step off the cruise ship and into your own sailboat. That's what Tom did. I recommend you join us. It's a community of advisors, themarkofmastery.com. I recommend that you join. It's no charge. I'll help you do the same thing. It helps if you're looking for a transformation, not just information.